clocking into the right frequency. This is my human factors research proposal. I'm proposing to conduct a study that discovers the most adequate frequency for an alarm. Frequency is pitch measured in hertz. This is a measurement of how high or low a sound is to hear. Some people struggle with alarm clocks because they sleep right through them, or they become so accustomed to the noise that they turn out the alarm that they set. Some alarms are not set to a frequency that catches someone's attention adequately enough for them to be able to utilize and depend on their alarms they have set. And I do not want to have an alarm that is too high, that is painful to listen to, or too low that is easy to be ignored or not notice. Previous research by Paul C. Vitz in 1972 expanded upon Wundt's hypothesis of the dimensions of sound frequency and intensity by including a hypothesis of frequency having a metathetic continuum. Originally, the hypothesis was a prothetic continuum. The study was run by Pure Tones for Simple Aesthetics. The study wanted to identify reactions to individual tones with music. 2 experiments were set up to test a range of sounds, followed by a survey for the subjects to fill out to identify the comfort of noises. This study supported the theory and evidence that we as humans prefer moderate variations in rates and tone sequence. However, they broadened the evidence by using pure tones and not just complex tones. This study gives us a basis of which tones are generally the most comfortable and preferred. This information can help to create the tone and tune for the alarm clock that we begin with and adjust in the first phase of this proposed study. More previous research by McFarlane et al. In 2020. This study focused on the effects of specific sound and music that can aid in the process of waking up. This specific study had the goal to understand how these noises can counteract sleep inertia. They ran their study by using a self-report questionnaire online that consists of 18 questions to determine demographics, waking sound, and sleep inertia. The study was able to establish a correlation with type of tunes and reduced perceived sleep inertia. They found that melodic noises reduced and neutral noises increased sleep inertia. This data helps us to establish a sufficient tune category that can help with the waking process of the subjects in our study. This study was focused on helping those with sleeping issues. However, we can use this data as a whole to understand what helps people the most to wake up regardless of sleeping issues. Carmel et al. In 2017 hypothesized that their specialized technique to test alarms would be more efficient in creating a reliable alarm sound. This study tested alarm sounds in noisy environments to duplicate real-world alarm sounds. Many techniques left out the Doppler effects that decrease the reliability of alarms in noisy environments. The authors assembled a data set of diverse alarm sounds and ambient noises to verify the robustness of their alarm detection technique to noise, low amplitude, Doppler effect, and short alarms with intermittent bursts. This test resulted in an alarm with low amplitude and intermittent bursts to be the most effective. We can use this research to understand which alarms are most effective in busy environments. This allows us to create an alarm that is effective in more than one environment. This research takes into account of various situations affecting an alarm, sound efficiency in alerting individuals that we should be aware of when we are constructing a new alarm sound. It is hypothesized that subjects will respond better to lower frequencies than higher frequencies for an alarm clock. In this study, we would use several individuals from various backgrounds and randomly assign them to 2 groups. We do not want individuals with all the same background and lifestyle, but rather a variety of people from different age groups, professions, and social status. Preferably, we would include individuals who do not already have hearing impairment. And we would like to limit the study to the age group to only include 18 to 60-year-old adults to include those that utilize alarms more in the workforce. Future studies would include children and elderly to reflect on the varying results. Materials and equipment we would use in this study would be a device such as a phone or tablet that can set an alarm and record data based off of the journal for each patient and response time to turn off the alarm. We'd also need a charger for the device for each patient. And as the researcher, we would need a computer to receive the recorded results and check in with the participants. The computer would need to be capable of adjusting the volume and pitch of the alarm, and checking in may require just collecting data or sending out a reminder to enter a journal for the day. We would also have to have access to a medical facility near each participant that can conduct hearing tests. And we would also have surveys to fill out before and after the study. One to confirm background and medical history of the individual, and one as an AAR at the end of the study. First, we would begin the test with each patient by giving them a survey to get background information of the individual, and then perform a hearing test to confirm an average of the comfortable range of the amplitude for the patient. This is also to collect data on where their hearing is at currently. We will then divide the group into two groups. Group A for using an alarm for the activity, and Group B for using the alarm to wake up. The first 2 weeks of using the alarms, we will use an adjustment period for the patients to report if the alarm is too quiet or loud, or if the pitch is too high or low. We will make adjustments to the alarm as necessary. The following 2 weeks, we will begin the study of the effectiveness of the alarm between the two groups. We will use an electronic journal linked to the alarm to record responses for response time for the alarms and daily responses to the alarm. At the end of the 2 weeks, the participants will do an end-of-study review of how they felt the study went and how effective the alarms were before seeing the results. The participants will also record if they had any changes in routine or health that could have off-put the results, and we will ask them that if they have any reports of change in hearing, we would need to be notified ASAP for known variables of their results. So the representative of the two groups, the only difference is that one group is going to use the alarm for the same activity each day, and one group is going to use the alarm to wake up each day. And then for the electronic journal, every individual will have the same alarm so that we can avoid error in use between separate and different devices. The alarm will be set by participant for their study and will record the time difference between the alarm going off and when participant turns off the alarm. Recording of the response time will be able to reflect if participants begin to lag in response, quicken response, or if response stays consistent. At the end of the day, each participant will record how they felt about the alarm. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being too quiet, 3 being adequate, and 5 being too loud, how was the sound of the alarm? Same scale, 1 being too low, 3 being adequate, 5 being too high, how was the pitch of the alarm? Same scale again, 1 being tuning out, 3 being adequate, and 5 being too annoying or irritating, how attentive were you to the alarm? Between the two groups, they'll have additional questions. Group A will be asked an additional question, did you feel anxious for the time to come? So we are aware if you were anticipating the alarm or if you tuned out and just went on your activity. Group B will have the additional questions, what time did you get to bed and did you feel well rested? So we have an understanding of how attentive you were to the alarm as well, if you were tired when you woke up, and if that had any variables with affecting response time. Questions will be filled out as a journal each day, and they'll be available after each alarm. Our expected results from this proposed study is that individuals will be able to use alarms at lower frequencies for longer periods of time because higher frequencies are often less comfortable to listen to, and many alarms tested have been more effective at lower frequencies. Thank you. This is my presentation and my bibliography.